All right, we're live. How are all you snowboarders of the internet? If you're in Colorado, Utah, Jackson Hole, or any place like that, hopefully you got out for the 3+ feet of snow we got. Also, it's time for a public service announcement. Don't be that asshole in the lift line. Yeah, I know the chairlift is probably fucking delayed because there's 3 feet of snow, but there's no reason to push people, let alone push me, because if you push me, you're gonna fucking lose, and you fucking lost, and I made you look like a bitch in front of your kids because you're a fucking chud. And then your fat friend threatened me saying he was a sheriff. And yeah. Anyways, I'll save that for story time. All right. So if you guys got questions, put them over into the chat box. I will answer them. This is your Friday, the 7th happy hour chat. We're also going to talk about the stupidity of people trying to drive. Like, why are you in the left lane with your four ways on, going 25 below everyone else when they're doing 40 in the right lane, having to pass you? We're going to talk about that as well in this. So, all right. Hopefully none of you guys got coronavirus either. I'm fighting a little something right now, and I don't know what it is. All right. Adam Kowalf, starting right off hot. Hey, Angry, what are your thoughts on Burton's step-ons? There's a whole review of them, and I shit on them. I mean, they have their place. I don't think the hype is there like it is. It's not a failed system. It's a niche system for certain people. And the problem is you're so limited on boots right now because I don't even think the DC boots that work with it have come out. So you're kind of just stuck with their boot. And I don't have a Burton foot. And honestly, I was not overly impressed with it. Like there's a weird click when you get your lateral plate because you got that heel anchor on the back. So when you roll it, yeah, there's like this weird popping sound coming from the toe. It's funny because K2 is bringing the clicker system back next year, hardcore. So yeah. All right. Bourbon on the Mountain. Hey man, going to Whistler this weekend. Any recs for good bars? Why the fuck can I think of that one that's like right there that everyone goes to that I puked on a girl in? Feel really bad about that. No, I don't. That's a lie. Fuck, what is it? Merlin's. That's the place. I'm pretty sure that's the name of it. I made some really questionable decisions with some kokanee and some bourbon in there once, and some poor girl got puked on in the bathroom stall, like projectile vomited. Like my girlfriend was like, just go in there. And I thought it was the bathroom, and it was the women's bathroom, and there was like no door on the stall, and I projectile vomited like onto this chick. I don't recommend that. That's not nice. It's not polite. All right. All right. All right. Elvin Sun with the super chat. Thanks for the earlier Euro friendly start time. Yeah, well, I wanted to get to sleep early tonight because we got a fuck ton of snow. Like today was a day. Like I have not seen that much snow at Copper. I mean, we're talking waist deep or higher most spots. Some spots, the terrain park for Dew Tour, they got 8-foot wind drifts in it. So yeah. Anyways, shit's fucking crazy out here right now. Like the avalanche mitigation is all over the place too. It took me like an hour and 15 minutes to get from Copper back to Breck so I could make it on time for this. So yeah. All right. All right. Jay Garrisic07. Hey man, just bought the Capita Outer Space Living. Any thoughts on the board? So far it's been great. That board's fun. I have a review of it up in the snowboard review playlist. It might even be in the Capita snowboards playlist, although I think that's the indoor survival that's in there. But I like the camper profile and the flex on that. It's a good like park board you can ride all around. So yeah. All right. Mark Andre Williams, best all mountain freestyle snowboard. So Captain Mercury, Ride Algorithm, Jones Mountain Twin, Yes Typo, and we're gonna throw we'll throw the Rome Agent on there for good measure too. So there's your 5. Adam Kowal, have you seen the 2021 simulator? It's black on black. Damn boy, I have. It's sexy. It's very, very sexy. I will not be reviewing that because nothing changed though. which reminds me, I got to shoot an email off to the Capita guys to see what's coming in. Let's see what else we got going on here. Michael Anderson, thoughts on shagging girls at work? Fairly sure I have a chunky one that wants a piece tonight. I mean, if you're desperate, she's desperate, go for it. And then human resources will get involved and it'll just be awkward. And one of you lose your job and the other one gets the clap. And it's never a fun time. You know, you don't want to stick your pen in the company inkwell, if you will. Just makes things really awkward. Unless it's the Christmas party. All bets are off at the Christmas party. All right. Bottled and Cork. Avran, why are some brands like Union doing limited 21 releases already? Doesn't that diminish some of the real hype on the season buildup? No, because they've sold through. They had to release it. I know for a fact that my local shop at Copper Gravity has a bunch of the 2021 stuff. And the reason that they have it is they sold out of everything. And we're like, send us whatever you have in a large binding, because it was Dew Tour was coming up. And they're like, we literally have no large bindings. So it's not going to hurt the hype. Like, they're selling them right now. It's not hurting anything else because they've already sold through. So you also have to realize that it's February. We're 2.5 months away from the Southern Hemisphere starting to get stuff as well. So yeah. There's that. Okay. Will Graham, have you ever ridden the Battalion Fun Kink? Yes. I don't know if there's a video review on YouTube, but there is a review of it on angrysnowboarder.com. And I think I grabbed one on Tuesday from the rep for the 2021s. I grabbed like 8 boards from Battalion. I actually rode the Camel 2, which is the Camel Toe 2.0 today. Holy fuck, that thing was amazing for float. But I got to wait till we get through all this powder storm so I can go test that park board. But yeah, and if you're a member of Angry Snowboarder VIP, early reviews will start dropping in written form June 1st. So there's already, I think, 2 or 3 up on there that'll drop starting June 1st. Every day there'll be 1 or 2, depending how many boards we review. So yeah. Okay, what do we got here? Ronald Newman, why is the Lumberjack so heavy compared to the Mercury? So you're talking 2 different construction methods. So you've got an Austrian construction versus a North American construction. So first things first, we got to talk that the Marhar will have a more wet layup in it. So it doesn't have pre-preg fiberglass in it, which means that they're putting more epoxy in it. More epoxy means more weight. Also, the fiberglass that they use tends to be a higher gram count. So, or higher weight, so more grams to it. So it's that. The other thing is that Capita does do kiln dried cores. I don't know if they still do it, but they do have a core processing that's different and integral to them, so that does lower the weight on it. So the big difference is, like, all American made product, like snowboards, are always heavier. They're just always heavier. Mervin, Smokin', Marhar, you can see it. It's just a heavier layup. They just have more epoxy in there, like thicker base material, thicker cores, thicker everything, more tip fill, things like that. So Capita has the capacity and the facility to actually make things a little bit better. I shouldn't say a little bit better, but like a little more refined. Like an Austrian board is just a little more refined. So there we go. Got the super chat from Enos Nito. Hey, Angry, would you recommend a mountain pig or super pig for a rider in the East Coast with size 12 boots weighing 220 pounds? Thank you. You could go either way. It kind of comes down to what you want. If you want to be like a crazy hard charger and you want something really stiff and aggressive, that's the mountain pig. If you want something a little more forgiving that you can rail a turn with, but get surfy in the slush in the spring, or float and pow, and it's not going to be like a board that rides you, then it's the super pig. Both of those will fit your size 12 boots. And with you being 220, I think you'd be looking at like the 154 size on the super pig. And I'd probably put you on like the 58 on the mountain pig. So there we go. Oh, here we go. The Fuck, Marry, Kill $2 super chat from my boy, Billy Ray Valentine. Chris Andreas L. Stacker. Well, L. Stacker gets killed first. I guess I fucking Andreas. He's kind of fat and cuddly, so it'd be like boobs, I guess. And he'd probably keep me warm on a cold winter's night. And I guess I could marry Chris and then like make him my indentured bitch and make him work, and I could be a stay-at-home house husband. So there we go. All right, what else we got here? Okay. Adam Merlou. Hey man, been riding cartels but want to try some nows. What would be a good equivalent? Probably the IPO or the pilot. One of those two would probably be more likely to stack up. Maybe even the brigade. Like it's those three though should be fairly in that same range as the cartel. Let's see. Will Graham with the super chat saw that Zeb stands as 0 front and -3 back. What the fuck? Yeah, that kid also looked like he was Debo's like love child when he was 11 years old. He had a mustache and he was cock diesel jacked. Like that kid, he probably just manhandled his binding and it probably just moved to those angles and he said fuck it and kept riding. Like that's yeah. So there we go. Okay. Marcus Ekman, what bindings would you recommend for the Jones Frontier 161 wide? Well, you could do a Now or the Jones one, which I think it's the Mercury is the softer one from Jones, not or maybe it's the Apollo. I can't remember. I always get those two confused. Otherwise, I would probably put like a Now Pilot or Brigade on that because obviously the same parent company, they're designed to work with it. If you're looking like at a Burton, it would be Cartel Malavita. If you're doing Ride, probably the Limited, or if you want something a little beefier, the Rodeo. If you're doing Union, Force, Strata, or if you really want something stiffer, Atlas. Those three. Flux, was it the is it the DX DS? It's like the 240 229 239 or $49 one from Flux. They changed the names and I can't keep up with it as well. You could do the fixed truce if you've got a wider boot print as well. I think that would give you a few options right there. So yeah. And for anyone that wants to know how to join Angry Snowboarder VIP, all you have to do is go to angrysnowboarder.vip. It's on the Patreon platform. There's a bunch of different tiers on there. You can figure out what best works with you and what you want and sign up for it. We will be revamping it probably towards the end of the month. I'm just like catching up on some projects and whatnot. Oh, thank God my frostbite doesn't look that bad on the camera either. I got fucking bit hard yesterday. All right. Let's see. Guitar Daddy 6. What is something that people who live in a snowboard town would like to see from out of towners? Tip well, be courteous, understand that you don't know the road, so you need to be over in the right lane, let people pass. Don't be a fucking idiot. Don't litter. That's a big one. People always litter. Don't bitch about lift lines. Don't bitch about everything else. We deal with it every fucking day. You know, it's the big things. It's like, don't be a tourist. Like, I have this whole theory that there are people that are just tourists in life. Like, that's how they get through life, is they're just a fucking tourist. And that's the only way that they can cope with it. Don't be that, you know? Like, treat it like you would a second home. Treat it like you're going to your favorite area out in the woods, recreational. Like, don't feed the moose, don't feed the bear. Read all the signs, pay attention, be cognizant of your surroundings. You know, don't tell people it's like the greatest, most epic powder, because it's probably not. Although the snow, I'll let it slide this weekend only. Anyone says it's the most epic snow that they've ever been on in Colorado, I'll fucking believe it, because this shit was fucking above my waist. Fucking, I needed a snorkel today. It was fucking ridiculous. So yeah, do that, but make sure you tip well, be courteous, you know, understand that sometimes people have bad days, and dad jokes, read the situation. Because like when I worked at the liquor store, I got a lot of really shitty, stupid dad jokes, and I just be like, and they'd be like, oh, it's not funny, and they want to like pick a fight with me, and I'm like, you're a fucking moron. I hear that joke every fucking day. What makes you any different? Like, if you die, I don't give a fuck. So yeah. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Michael Anderson, $10 Canadian super chat, which means it's like 2 pesos American. What would make you notice the biggest difference when riding? New board or new bindings? I like my setup, but I don't really know if the board bindings or boots I like as it was all new. The biggest thing is the boots. New boots throw everything off because you got a better, tighter fit in there. You're not using as much energy to roll it from toe to heel. The lateral flex, like everything. Like I, I just swapped out my liners out of my boots to a new set of liners just so I could squeeze like another 25, 30 days out of the boots. And I mean, the boots probably have 150 days on them, give or take. And but the shells are kind of okay. But the liners, I think at this point, I think they've got 6 days on them. And my power transmission is so much smoother. Like I can roll edge to edge, which was perfect because I got on them right before the 2021 stuff came in. And that's the big thing. Bindings, it comes down to the binding flex. Like if you get a stiffer binding than what you had, obviously you're going to notice that. And that same can be said with going to a snowboard as well as if it's stiffer. And that's kind of the big thing with it. It's like when you get a whole new setup, it's like a whole new world. It's like buying a brand new car with 5 miles on it at the dealership, and you're going out and you're just railing it hard and shit. And you're like, oh, I gotta break everything in. Like once things break in, you'll start to realize what actually works. But yeah. So there you go. All right. All right. Elias Rader picked up the Capita Simulator 156 and the Burton Ruler Boas this season. Looking to get some new bindings as well. What would you recommend? I would probably do like Rome DOD, Burton Cartel Malavita, K2 Formula, or if you wanted something little softer, more surfy on that, you could do the lineup. If you go Union, Force or Strata. So that should give you a few options. Okay. Let's see what else we got going on here. Let's see. NV Salon. Hey, Angry, what do you recommend to a dad who's not rad but wants to be? Becoming rad. Start buying fireworks and letting your kids play with them. Also, be the rad dad that gets your kid a butterfly knife and maybe like a little pit bike as well. Because, like, I mean, I'm not saying encourage them to smoke, but if your kid takes up smoking, you might, and you're kind of cool with it, and you leave like an extra beer around the house for them every now and then, you might become the cool dad. I mean, I'm just saying, like, these things happen. Now, if you're talking about snowboarding, ride more, bring your kids, bring your wife, bring your friends, go to movie premieres, fucking know who the regional riders are that kill it on the scene, and stoke it out and shit. Don't be afraid to buy the park crew a burger every now and then or a beer or something and saying thank you. And just keep supporting Angry the way you want. So, yeah. All right. Just hanging out. In your opinion, are the Arbor Cypress a good match with the Jones Ultra Mountain Twin? No. I think they're too soft for the Ultra Mountain Twin. The other thing is the Arbor bindings, the machine screws that hold the heel cup, they put too much Loctite and over tighten them. So people are stripping them out. It's been a production issue for 2 years now. And I don't see that getting rectified anytime in the future. So I really wouldn't put them on there. I think there's just better bindings that would match up to that board as well. All right. T. Diddy going to Pow Mau next week. Can't wait to ride my new board. Was just talking to a creepy superfan, Alan Russell. He says the snow has come in to Utah and it's heavy and wet, which means everything's going to be covered up there. And it looks like they got more snow coming this week. So you're going to have a good time. Story 3333 just got back from Copper. It was awesome. I stayed driving in the right lane. That's my man right there. I was in the right lane too on the way back, mainly because I just wanted to get off at the Frisco exit and because they were metering traffic. But holy shit, today, fucking deep, right, man? Holy shit. Like, fucking well worth the hour I spent standing in line. Holy shit, though. Fucking above waist deep, just full hovercraft sender mode, like snorkeled, choking on shit, running over Red Bull athletes that fell in my way. Fucking crazy. Snakehorn, what niche freeride board do you recommend for someone with a size 12 boot? The pyre will work for you, and that's like powder free ride. Otherwise, I think they make an oh, did they discontinue it? I want to say like the Aether of the Story, they make a wide in it, or they did, but you might be SOL. Well, no, because I think the bigger ones, the bigger sizes have at least a 25.5, but I think it's like a 25.8 or a 26 or something waist width. So yeah. So there you go. Let's see. Fizzled. How long would it take to damage your board when hot waxing? You need to go watch the video how not to hot wax your board. That'll tell you exactly what's going on. You should watch that. That's an old video, like old. That's before we like fully transitioned over here to it. But I left an iron sitting on a board, and just for anyone that doesn't understand, I don't believe in hot waxing boards. Mainly because I think it definitely deadens the lifespan of the board, and I've noticed that over the years. It's all anecdotal, but I do have friends that work in tune shops that have said the same thing. And let's see what we got here. Zeppelin 481, thoughts on the return of Kemper snowboards? Well, what's that right there? That's a 2021 Night Series Flight. So it's got that unique, Jesus, get it in here. So it's got that unique tip and tail shape. They're made at GP87. I'm curious because I talked with Jib Hunt, the owner, Monday, Tuesday, and year one, he only made 150 boards and he sold out. Year two, I think he said he made like 640 and he sold 600 of them, and there's 40 left. And then he said he's just going to grow on it from there. The shapes, I know the boards like pretty well. I know where some of the shapes, some of them are borrowed, some of them are their own. But I'm really curious. Like I have an Apex, I have a Screamer, I think I have a Rampage and an Aggressor. Eventually he's going to run out of these vintage graphics, but I think his business model is kind of interesting because it's like more direct. He's got a few shops that carry him, but I think he relied very heavily off the Dig My Quiver crowd to buy stuff. And those guys are a certain kind of special. So yeah. All right. Let's see what we got on. Let's see. Let's see what else we got going up here. I feel like I missed some questions from you guys. Got a super chat. Super chat from Bourbon on the Mountain. Off to Whistler. Stay angry, man. Remember, there might be a mumps outbreak with the J1, so don't bang any of them. If you're going to puke on someone, make sure it's in the bathroom at Merlin's. The tuna melt at the Gondola Pub and Grill was pretty good, if I remember correctly. And hopefully you get good snow. So there's 4 things to remember for going to Whistler. All right. Richard Hurleman. Much like skateboarding or surfing, snowboarding seems to remain an alternative sport lifestyle and not fully mainstream. Why do you think this is, and is this good or bad thing? This goes back to my whole debate of there are snowboarders and there are people that snowboard. And the people that snowboard are more the mainstream people, and they're kind of punters, and they're in their own fucking world. And, they'll own, it's like a guy was telling me he was going to buy a set of bindings the other day and it was going to last him 25 years. And he fucking had an old Lamar cap constructed board. It's like he needed a full new setup. And, and he's like, I'm going to own these for 20. That's a dude that snowboards. He's buying lift tickets. I will never reach him. I will never care. That guy, if he makes 5 laps in a day and drinks 3 beers on the mountain, he's fucking happy. People that are snowboarders are different. Like it's a lifestyle. Like for me, it's always been a lifestyle. It's been a lifestyle choice. I still get stoked to get up early to go to a powder day. I'll stand in line for an hour for waist deep pow. I'll fight people, literally fight people to get on the chairlift. If I have to, I will drive aggressively to get there. And it's the problem is there's like this cost of entry, and the people that really want it don't give a fuck about the cost of entry. Like when I started snowboarding, my grandmother bought me a Wednesday night pass through the ski club, which at the time with the deal, it was $110 for the pass. And then it was another $150 for the rentals, and the rentals, there was 7 days of rentals or something. And my brother worked at the resort, and so he would get me comp tickets and comp. He worked in the rental shop, so I'd get comp rentals, and I just said fuck it. Took my birthday money and just bought a board, and it was like game on when it happened, and I have not looked back. And I think like the people that really understand that, yeah, there's this barrier, they will make it work. And there's people that say they want to be a snowboard bum and they maybe do it for a year and they realize it's a lot harder than people think, and to make it work, like, I've lived here for 16 years. I think at 2 condos ago, I think and I'll just be honest, like I was struggling so hard. I think I was getting like an eviction notice every month, but I kept coming up with the money. So the guy kept me there, and it became this game. And then like I'd overpay and then I'd underpay, and it was fucking, but I was just like trying to do it. And then when I was working at the liquor store starting out and trying to like move this into YouTube video format stuff, I was struggling and struggling. Like I was literally probably struggling until about a year ago. And now like I am upper lower class. That's the way I look at it, is like I'm upper lower class and I'm comfortable with it. But so with that, but I continually keep building on it, and it's tough. It's tough to make this into a lifestyle. And I think about like different girls that I've dated and stuff. I was dating a girl that was in school to be a neurosurgeon, and she liked to snowboard and she liked coming up here, but she couldn't, it became a party lifestyle for her when she was here. And I just ended up like babysitting her in that. Or, I had a serious relationship with a girl from Denmark, and I truthfully still love her today as a friend. And, but I think she at the time just saw like she wanted more. And, you get that. And there's like this isolation too. I mean, ski towns, shred towns have one of the highest levels of suicide. Actually, it's statistically proven. There was actually an article on like Outside Online, and part of that is just the way the lifestyle is. It's like you party all night, you shred, you work, and then one day you wake up and you're 35, 36 years old and you got nothing to fucking show for it. I mean, I see a lot of people that got what we call brecked out here. Like, they're 45, they got 3 roommates, they're living in a 3-bedroom, they're struggling to make ends meet. And you see that. And I think to really be a successful snowboard bum, you got to understand the dedication, the drive, and to do it. And you get these people like that have trust funds and stuff, and they come through and they might last a year or two, but the longer you live in a mountain town, like I meet people all the time and I was like, won't be here in 2 years, won't be here in 6 months, won't be here in 5 years. And that's kind of it. It's like, it's super tough. It's super hard. And you have this cost of everything. Like I'm not just talking equipment and season passes. Like I've got a screaming deal on my condo, but I live in a multi-million-dollar district. Like every building in here, because I live in the arts district, every building, I think on the low end was like 1.1 or 1.5 million to rehab, but some of them were like 2 to 3. It's one of the most expensive neighborhoods in Breckenridge, in incorporated Breckenridge in downtown. And you see it, like people don't even know I live here. People don't even know there's condos here. And you see like with Airbnb and VRBO, people are getting pushed out and people are moving further out. Like I have a lot of friends that I snowboard with, but they drive 45 minutes to Breckenridge or an hour just to come in to snowboard every day. And it's like, I got friends that I ride copper with, and I mean, they live in Kremling. Kremling fucking sucks. It's like the scariest place, but it's becoming worker housing. It's just like Leadville, and you get pushed out further and further. And so the lifestyle changes. And the other thing is snowboard media, I think for like the last 5 years, and I'm included in this, we've kind of failed at capturing the actual fun, like 70s, 80s style, it's a party, but you can be successful. You can do it. Like I always tell people, I'm like, there's a bunch of movies you should watch. You should watch Out Cold, because you'll learn really quick that you'll never be able to fight the man like that. You should watch Hot Dog, because it's fucking hilarious, and that's like the party lifestyle, and you should get that. Ski School, Dave Marshak is my spirit animal. Snowboard Academy with Corey Haim is fucking hilarious. And then Aspen Extreme, because Aspen Extreme is like the quintessential, the truth of what it's actually like. And TJ Burke is like what happens when you actually become successful. So yeah, hopefully that's like a crazy lengthy question and shit. So yeah. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, what else we got going on here? Hirona Zumi. Have you looked or considered DPS fandom-based streaming? Yes, I have. I actually have Snowcoat sitting over there. I've got it. I just got to find fucking time to get it on a board and do it. The DPS Phantom is like an epoxy that you have to cure on the base, and for the Rockies, like we drill a lot of rocks, so it's one of those things. But I like the idea of stuff going in that direction. It makes sense to me. So yeah. So yeah. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Kevin Chow. I find myself switching between a bunch of stance angles for different days and hate having to hassle with screws when I'm trying to run hot laps. Any binding recommendations for more simplified footbed? Fix is working on something where you can adjust your angle on the fly, I think, or it's like it's just two screws and you can do it. I don't know if they actually like went further with it. The other thing is like now with the hangers, you can buy the individual hangers and mount them on your boards, and then you just unscrew the sides, pick it up, put it on the next board, screw it right down, and boom, and you could have all like you. And I think the hangers are like $20 or $30. It's US. It's not that big of a deal. So you could just have a bunch of hangers on boards. I looked at it for myself as being the binding I was going to go to, but I went to Rome bindings instead this year. So yeah. Cyborg Xanadu. Is Gore-Tex worth the price, or is 20K material enough? I'm not a fan of Gore-Tex. I just don't like it. It makes me feel slimy. Some people really swear by it. It depends on where you live. Like if you literally live in the heart of the Rockies where it's just cold, dry snow, you don't need fucking Gore-Tex. You need something with polyfill in it to keep you warm. You're in the Northwest where there's a higher moisture content. Yeah, you need it. So, yeah, there's so much going on there. So let's see. Let's see what we got here. Johan Osarov, ever heard of gravity snowboards out of the Balkans? I haven't, but I heard of Balkan snowboards out of the Balkans. They reached out to me. They seemed like nice guys. Then they started leaving weird comments on things, and I was just like, I assume it's a language barrier issue. I'm not sure. So yeah. Let's see what else we got going on here. Let's see. Guitar Daddy 6. Oh, dude, what's your opinion on the Keystone interaction with Jonathan Buckhouse? I've been wondering what Snowtown people think of stuff like that. He's a fucking kook. There's actually a fucking epic rant on the what is it? It's the Friday one of the Friday live streams from January. I went on like a 25-minute tangent. I fucking hate that kid. He's a poser fuck. He's a kook. So many people don't like him. He's fake as fuck. He thinks he hurt Keystone. All he did was put a target on his back. Like, that's all he did. No resort will ever want to work with him because of that, because he's a whiny little man child. Shit like that happened to me. Mine was even more fucked because the head of ski patrol, Craig Simpson, told me snowboarders had no place on his mountain. And then he also referred to me as one of you people, making ethnic slurs about my first name, something about being Jewish, which I'm not Jewish, but I have a Jewish sounding name. So I don't think he's there anymore. Fuck that guy. I hope he gets rectal cancer and dies. Same thing with Buckhouse. So there you go. Jordan Main, does Rome's Fusion Camber have the same grip as Camber, or is it more surfy feeling? I ride a mod rocker looking at a Rome agent. So it's like an easier to press at the contact point camber. So like when you load it, it's a little looser out at the tips. It's not surfy. It still grips, but it doesn't have as aggressive as a bite, and it doesn't hang up as much. I really, really love Fusion Camber. I actually have a Rome Warden that I ride. But just so you know, for 2021, there is a new board called the Party Mod, which is the old mod rocker, but with wide shapes as well. And it will be returning, and I will have one in 2 weeks for review. And that review will drop in the fall, unless you're a member of Angry Snowboarder VIP. Then it'll drop sometime in the summer in written form. Adam Cole, if you could fix one snowboard brand, which one would you choose and what would it be? Gilson, because I would liquidate it and destroy it and make sure that I held the goddamn bullshit trademark on their fucking soft edge technology so it never comes back and we never have bullshit snowboards. Uh, so Ton, how was riding Copper Mountain today? I saw they got an insane amount of powder. Dude, insane is an understatement. 3 feet or more, depending where you were. Most of the upper mountain didn't even open. I don't even think it. I left at about 1 o'clock. I don't think anything upper open. They're not going to open the backside this weekend. The Dew Tour course is under 8-foot snow drifts, and it's probably going to take them like 10 hours, 12 hours to dig that out for the contest. Understatement, insane. Like, so good. And I rode the new Battalion Camel 2. Oh, fucking hovercrafting today. Whew. Okay, let's see what we got here. JD, what do you use instead of hot waxing? My bad if you've already answered this already. I get a stone grind. I put structure in the base, and that's it. Okay. Joseph Lippens, Rad Dad on a Battalion Goliath. Need new bindings. A recommendation. For the Goliath, I think you might like something a little more stiffer. So like probably like a Burton Genesis, Union Atlas, maybe a Felcor, but probably more like the Atlas. Let's see, the Ride Rodeo, maybe a Capo, the K2 Formula, or the K2 Lean AT, because then you got that customization with the pods and stuff on there as well. This is a no contest question. Mark Andre Williams, pick one. Only ride park or only ride POW for the rest of your life? I'll ride POW the rest of my life. Why? Because sometimes the park gets POW, and then you can ride POW Park. So, yeah, I'd rather ride POW every fucking day of my life than ever fucking ride park. Like, if I had to choose one or the other, it'll be POW every single time. Okay. Henry, one more question. As another boarder who has dislocated his shoulder more than once, do you have a strategy or prep you do to prevent dislocations on the mountain? You need to build the shoulder capsule back up in the in this region. So your pectoral, your trapezius, this little muscle in here, this little muscle right here is the big one. Your bicep, your tricep. You basically have to rebuild the whole arm. And what I find is it's like a 10 or a 15-pound weight, and you're just putting it up, clank, bring it back down slow, so your elbows are at 90s. You're doing that behind the head, shoulder presses, just to build up that shoulder. Bench pressing, it's not high weight. Like, I only bench press about like 25 pounds on each side. So like with the bar, I don't even think it's 100 pounds, but it's just the slow repetition to build all that up. Cause like my issue isn't just a shoulder dislocation. I dislocated the collarbone from the sternum. So when that pops, it pulls the whole shoulder and everything out. So for me, building all that muscle up around there really does a lot. So, I mean, when you're starting out, you can use tension bands to kind of build up there. And as you build that muscle up, you'll notice really quick, like I used to go from 7, 8 times a year, my shoulders would pop out to, I think the last time one popped out was like 4 or 5 years ago, like noticeably popped out to the point, like I had to like twist it and pop it back in. So yeah. So there you go. Johan Ostrov, speaking of power boards, ever seen the Furberg backcountry boards? They have a super weird no second. Yeah, I've seen that Furberg stuff. I think they might have reached out to me once, but nothing ever came of it. It's not really a brand. I mean, if I ride them, I ride them. It's not something I'm going to actively seek out. So, okay. Andy M jumped on a Stratus yet? No. The Stratus I'm going to be getting is on its way to Utah right now. It will be in Utah for the Snow Basin demo for the shops out there Monday and Tuesday, and it should return Thursday or Friday, and I'll probably pick it up Monday next, not this upcoming week, but a week from this upcoming Monday. So Um, it is going to happen. And that one, I probably will not hold that review. Well, I'm like torn if I'm going to hold that review till the fall or not because it is an early release and they've pretty much sold out. So, um, yeah. So there's that. But yeah, I got a bunch of Jones Yes Now stuff coming, K2 stuff, Nitro, Ride. Right now, I've got Kemper, Borealis, Battalion, and Rosinal here. And I left the on snow demo on Tuesday with like 20 or 30 snowboards. So it's crazy how much stuff is. So yeah, yeah, it's crazy. All right. So for everyone asking about the Amazon shit goggle update, they're here. It's time right now. There's other things I need to do to get to it. It will get done. When it gets done, it will be amazing. And it will probably be a long video. It'll probably be like 20 to 30 minutes, I think, by the time I'm done. So there. Tyler Barr, is there such a thing as too much pow? Yes. Oh God, yes. When it fills in like that low angle shit and you just sink. Today was a classic example of too much pow. You'd be riding along and you just see like two little goggles and the top of a helmet like sticking up because people fell and they were just gone, just completely gone. And like some spots, like with the valleys and stuff, people would like hit it and like hit a wind lip and stop. They'd be standing up and you could just see like the top of the helmet. So yes, there is such a thing as too much pow. Like, I mean, the other thing is like doing avalanche mitigation and getting runs open and chairlift mitigation and all that shit. Like mountain ops, they bust their ass for a lot of things. And it's yeah, it's crazy like how things are. Got to remove this asshole. There we go. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Richard Hurleman, any 2021 boards you think might tip out the simulator as your fave park board? Well, the Jackpot got an overhaul again this year from Yes, so I got to ride that. There's the Mod Party or Party Mod from Rome, which is a mod rocker, which I notoriously loved that board back in the day. So I'm dying to get on that. There's a lot of new stuff coming out this year that I can't wait to really get on. JD, any smoke and snowboard reviews coming up? We'll see if Jay answers his phone when I call again. The last time he called, it was like 1 a.m. and I did not fucking answer. So, but supposedly he wants to send stuff. So we'll see. Let's see what else we got going on here. Henry, get Kevin to carve a Furberg. In case you guys haven't caught the podcast intro that we just put out like about a week ago, or you caught episode 13 podcast on Podbean or Spotify, which we're on Spotify now. We're probably taking a year off from Can Kevin Carve It. I want to come back to that with something better. Like if we continue on the way we're going, it's kind of like you stagnate, you die, you end up like The Walking Dead, and suddenly you're 15 seasons in and you've fired your showrunner and you have no clue what the fuck's going on. So yeah. Let's see what else is going on. Nick West, how much better are the black label highbacks compared to the regular katanas? It's an incremental difference. Most people probably won't even notice it, but the way that it's forged and how they built it, I notice like with the way my boots are and everything and how I drive into it, I get a little more power out of my heel than I would on a katana. It's not a bad thing. I rode them and was like, holy shit, like this actually makes sense. And eventually that high back will trickle down. For most average riders, I honestly don't think that they're going to need it, and a katana would be fine for them. It was actually funny talking with Matt Stillman from Rome about it, and he's like, yeah, we put it out, it's kind of a talking piece, and the sell-through's actually been really good. And he's like, I think you probably had something to do with that, with you riding them. And I was like, well, it is what it is. I mean, I can choose any binding I want, and I got 2 pairs of them and I got a third on the way. So yeah. Let's see what else we got going on here. Epic Remedies. Sup, my guy? Do you feel the experience would be better on a POW board rather than a volume shifted board with setback up at Powmau, Utah? It depends on how you ride POW personally. So there's a lot of low angle POW at Powmau where a volume shifted board will be phenomenal. And when I was there, I rode the Wired Vantage, and I went up on the Cats, which is basically an average POW board. It's more like just a free ride board, a little taper, setback, good camber profile, good flex. And I unleashed on that fucking board in some off the Cats and some of the low angle POW, like in the Aspens and stuff. And I had ridden the Endeavor Pioneer the day before at Park City Canyons. And that board was just like the way the snow was that day and at that resort. That board was just better for being in the trees, a little more float because it was a heavier, crustier snow, and stuff like that. And it kind of comes down to how you want it. And like, the good thing about most snowboards, and I say this, like almost every snowboard can be a powder board. That's kind of the big thing with it. And POW specific boards have their place. Like today I rode the Camel 2 from Battalion. That's a POW carving board, and it definitely had its place. I mean, I could have ridden my Endeavor Archetype. If I'd ridden my Tellus Backslash, I probably would have died. I just wouldn't have been able to get as much speed as I want, you know. So yeah. Ride Smart. Hey, friend. The Marhar Lumberjack X stiffer than the regular Lumberjack, and does the Lumberjack X camber make it more versatile and more akin to the War Pig? No, the regular Lumberjack is closer to the War Pig, just with the way it is. The camber in it, you don't notice the camber in it till you load up and pop, and then you suddenly spring, and that's the big thing. But with the difference between the Lumberjack X and the Lumberjack, the regular Lumberjack is more like skate style, so you roll back and you pop off the tail and you get a little boost. Whereas the Lumberjack X, you like load that board and it springboards and pops. It's okay in POW, like it'll float. Just trust me, it'll float. But the regular Lumberjack floats so much better in POW. So yeah. All right. Let's see what we got here. Shane Isaacs just got the Arbor Element rocker. I've never ridden a rocker board. How much of a ride difference between camber and rocker? So the big difference, and this is what I love about Arbor's rocker system, is they bump out those contact points right where the tri-radial side cut would meet right underfoot. So you get that grip tech right underfoot. So instead of camber, where you would drive out at the tip and tail contact point, you steer underfoot. It's more like a skateboard with loose trucks. So you roll back in, but it grips. And the Element, you can actually rail a good carve with. It's going to take you probably 3 to 10 good solid laps before you figure out that you're like, oh, I don't need to drive it out at the tail and the nose. I can steer more underfoot and be a little more loose with it, and it's still going to grip. Let's see. Let's see. All right. Avery Cordova, I'm going to Copper this weekend and I'm riding for one day. What should I do to get the most out of it? Get there early. If you're going tomorrow, check and see when they're opening stuff. If they open Lower Enchanted, go there. That'll be really good. Don't bother your time trying to get to Three Bears Chair. That probably won't open. Union Meadows. So like go up the Sierra Chair and go out Union Meadows. That one will be really solid. Definitely ride, get early in the morning. This is not afternoon. This is not midday. Like first 2 laps, go ride the A chair if you can, because that snow will be blown out by the or probably by 11 o'clock. So if you can do that, but the big thing is get there early. I know you're coming in from Powderhorn, so you got to deal with Vale Pass heading eastbound. So maybe you'll be a little bit more lucky getting there. Also, remember, if Vale Pass is closed, you can get off in Minturn and go up to Leadville and down and around. It's going to be about an extra 45 minutes, but Fremont Pass and Tennessee Pass tend to close last. So if they're open, you can cut around Vale. It does put an extra half hour on your drive, but you don't have to end up sitting down there. But also, anything lower angle in the trees is going to be slow as fuck because there's so much snow. Until that gets packed down, which my guess is it's supposed to be a high of like 38, 40 tomorrow. So when that gets hot in the afternoon, that'll pack down. That would be when to go into lower angle trees. So yeah. Okay. Let's see what else we got going on here. All right. Let's see. Michael Kulig, Avon, do you prefer an extruded or centered base? I don't even care. I don't pay attention to it. Everyone gets hung up. Oh, my extruded base is so slow. That's so sticky. But my centered base is so weak. Well, stop fucking hitting rocks and put a fucking structure in your base, and your problems are solved. I don't pay attention to it. I've got boards with centered. I got boards with extruded. I got boards with centruded. I don't fucking give a shit. Just fucking ride. That's all I care about. Edges are sharp, and there you go. Okay. Let's see what else we got going on here. Tyler Barr, how do you deal with so many granolas in Colorado? I fucking eat meat. I eat meat. I pick on them. I don't give a fuck about them. I avoid Boulder like it's the goddamn Black Plague. Boulder, to me, is like Simba and his dad asking when he asks his dad what that dark place is and that he must never go there. That's Boulder. Fuck that place. Boulder is the goddamn worst. And they ruin everything else in the state. I avoid Boulder. Although the college chicks are kind of slutty. So there's that. And someone's probably going to be butthurt that I said slutty and be like, you're slut shaming. And I'll be like, I'm doing whatever the fuck I want. I don't give a shit. All right. Fletchtown, can we see Kevin try and carve the Soul Stick Pocket Rocket Ride and Switch? No, because that board was sent to James Beastie at the Good Ride, and I made sure to cover the base and the top sheet complete with angry stickers. I caked probably like 300 stickers on that thing and then hit it with a heat gun so they wouldn't peel easily. Like, fuck that board. That board is garbage. That board is straight fucking garbage. The company is fucking garbage. The guy comes from kayaking background. And I guess he's like renowned in kayak shaping, not renowned in snowboard shaping, like fucking Kook City over there. And like, if you ever watch his videos, it's like he just goes as fast as he can and tries to charge through everything to get it done. And it does not look good. There's no style. And those boards look like they're going to kill you. All right. Let's see what else we got going on here. I think we're kind of caught up on some of the Yelper questions. What else we got going on here? All right. Henry, what's your take on Rozzy overall, man? You seem to like their product and design, but you make fun of them because they let go Jones and Rice and they're a ski company. Oh, you have to own the fact that they're a ski company. Like Rosinal Snowboards is really good at selling skis. Like I actually have a t-shirt that says that. Fucking I will wear like I have a great relationship with Rozzy. Unfortunately, my friend Tom, who was the head of Rozzy USA Snowboard Division, left the company, and they haven't filled the position yet. But I have an idea. It's like one of my other friends that's going to be doing that. But he was always good with feedback, and like we were trying to get the bindings fixed. Like the bindings are fucking garbage, and their boots are horrendous. They're rental boots. That's really what they are. The shells look good, but their liners are fucking ski boots shoved into a fucking snowboard boot. Like the heel pad or the calf pad on the back of one of their boots is like seriously that fucking thick. It's like over an inch thick. It's absolutely ludicrous. But their boards are fucking dialed. Like they actually, I actually got some of their new stuff, like the Juggernaut, After Hours. I grabbed the Jibsaw Elite, the Jibsaw. There's one other one in there that I grabbed as well. I grabbed like 5 or 6 boards from them. So there'll be reviews and stuff. But, you know, I mean, if you're a ski company and you can poke fun at being a ski company, why not do it? So Rosinal Snowboards, they're really good at selling skis, which ironically, Rosinal is actually moving more snowboard product than anyone if you count their rental division. Only if you count their rental division. So, yeah. Okay, what else we got going on here? Zane Clark, you should review the Burton Custom Twin and or Kilroy 3D Camber. Yeah, well, if I knew who to talk to at fucking Burton, I could probably make that happen, but they're just such a pain in my dick that it's like jump through a bunch of hurdles and maybe get 3 boards from them, or just call up some of the local guys that I've worked with for years and get 20 snowboards. 10 hours of work for 3 boards, 10 minutes of work for 30 boards. It's a numbers game. Like, I want to have my time invested into it as best as I can and maximize it. I mean, my time is very finite. I realize that. Like, we should all view time as finite because we only have X number of seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks, months on this planet before we all fucking die. So you should optimize it and treat it such. So I always try to treat it that way. Yeah. Okay, Gregor Thomas, what is the name of the cheap and good bar from your friend in Breck? My friend is stuck in Breck and is hungry. I'm stuck in Germany. It's not a bar. It's actually a Euro stand. It's called Above the Blue. It is on Park Avenue by Mikasa and Sun Logic. It's on the far end. There's 2 Sun Logic locations. So you want the southern one. It's down by the Gravity House. It's just a little kiosk. I with the snow right now, I don't know if he's open. I don't even know. Like, I was gonna sign off here at 4. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to make it to happy hour at one of my favorite places. So, yeah. But if you can, go to Above the Blue, get a euro. Let's see. The Galaxy Fox. Hey, I'm new on your channel and you earned a new subscriber. Well, welcome to the party. Shit's going to get fucking weird. Keep your pants on. Also, why is one cold frog retracting his messages? I'm going to have to text him after this. Really worried he's saying questionable things. All right. All right. Let's see what else we got going on here. Feel like we're struggling with questions today, guys. You need to up your game. I want more questions over there. This isn't good. Adam Cole, Hangry, is Santa real? He is real, and he's black. Because ain't no white people sneaking into your house unannounced. He's black. I should know. My brother's black. Marcus from Ask a Black Snowboarder. We agree. Santa is black. Krampus is white. I worship Krampus and Satan, not Santa. All right. Let's see. I think we're kind of catching up. A lot of RIP L Stacker's adventures. He's dead. He went to Japan, hit a tree, got a bruise on his hip, and then contracted coronavirus, and now he's dead. So, yeah. Story 3333. Do you put aftermarket insoles in your snowboard boats? I don't have a snowboard boat. I have boots. No, that's a typo. I do. I use Remind insoles. If you haven't seen the Boot Fitting 101 series, I strongly recommend that everyone go check that out. It's a very informative series. I actually probably will reshoot that in the next year because I do not like the way it is. But yeah, I use Remind insoles. Aftermarket insoles are a game changer. Like, stock insoles on most snowboard boots are just straight fucking garbage. Yeah. Todd Williams, spring mitten recommendation. Companies like Salmon Arm, Candy Grind worth a look. Yes, they are. Candy Grind actually makes some really exceptional stuff. I really like their quality. It's like a little higher end. Salmon Arms, it's a cool little core company. Also, the Crab Grab spring mitts and stuff are pretty cool too. So if you're like looking for core points, there you go. Let's see what else we going on. Fresh Rancid, please tell us about the side hit euphoria videos, real, fake, etc. They're real. You can see they're real, but they definitely carve out their side hits ahead of time. You can see lips. Like, if you slow the video down, you can see that they're a manicured lip. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, they're fucking phenomenal. I love those videos, but it's not a true side hit. Like, it didn't naturally form on some of those. You can see that they actually built a lip, but side hit euphoria, fucking phenomenal. I know my boy Billy Ray Valentine has watched it like 10,000 times in the last week. Let's see. Nick K, what activities do you guys get into during the summer? I hibernate. Like, probably for like a solid 2.5, 3 weeks after the season, I sleep like 12 to 14 hours a day. I play some video games. Usually I wake up, I make a smoothie, I play about 30 minutes of video games, and then I climb back into bed Then I wake up and I tool around and I make some more food and then I go back to sleep. That's pretty much it. Kevin does like ultra marathon running and mountain biking and shit. Ah, all right. Let's see what else we got going on here. Uh, let's see. I think we already answered that question. Guitar Daddy 6, beer, liquor on the mountain, flask or six pack. None of the above. I'm a non drinker. Getting a DUI on the mountain is not cool. Being drunk and out of control is not cool. You save that shit for après. Okay. Let's see what else we got on. Huh, really digging for some questions here. Kind of good. All right. Okay, Zane Clark. List of boards for park, 5 foot 520 pounds for large jumps and jibbing with camber. Burton Custom Twin, Freethinker 3D camber process, Capit Outsiders, a simulator, Super DOA, DOA, DC Ply, Mervin Box Knife Headspace. So remove the Super DOA from that list. You just gone. You don't even want to waste your time with that for what you're talking about. That's it. It shouldn't even say DOA in the name. It should just be something else. I think like you're on a good track with those boards. I would also throw the Interior Plane Project Hanali in there. The Yes Jackpot might be a little too soft for you. You could look at the new Rome Agent as well. That's pretty solid. Or the Mod Stale. So you got a few options. Okay. Snakehorn, heading to Washington in a couple weeks to visit some family, but they live near White Pass. Any thoughts on this mountain? If you get a chance, you should go because when they do get hit, their POW is phenomenal. I never actually rode there, but I had a lot of friends that would just rave about it, and it's like never crazy busy. So if you get a chance, um, check it out. Richard Hurlman, philosophical thought experiment. If a skier dies in the trees and no one is around to hear him scream, does he make a sound? Who cares? He's dead. That's one less person in the lift line. Uh, Elvin's son, have you tried riding no backs on the now bindings? No, not on the nows. I think I only did that on the switchback ones. David Barnes, I bought boots and bindings for this year, both Solomon. The boots are showing excessive wear after 4 days. I don't want to send them back. Already warranted pair. What can I do to protect the boots? Cover them in duct tape, like where the wear points are, and double check that it's the right size binding for the boot. Like sometimes I've seen this happen. Like I've gotten a shipment in from companies, and you open it up, and you actually you flip the binding over, and you look at the size on the base, and it's not the right size that was supposed to be listed, and that could be why it's giving a little more wear and tear in there. Just in case, if you lived in Denver, would you make an attempt to a resort tomorrow? If yes, which one? Head south, go to Monarch, bypass all the bullshit, take 285 up, go past through Fairplay and cut through everything. Although 285 has been closed today, but that should reopen because it's a military road. Otherwise, take US 40. Fuck, I guess go to Winter Park, even though I fucking hate that place. But you're still dealing with 70. Maybe just drive north to Steamboat, or if since you're in Denver, go up the long way through Fort Collins and around. But definitely fucking ride. It's tomorrow's going to be fucking phenomenal. I'm actually getting up early on a Saturday, going to A Basin, and I'm going to go ride pow boards at A Basin. All right. Rye, what are your thoughts on snowboard technology advancements? Has it plateaued? Is it just refinements now? What could be the next big jumping boards, outerwear, mobile apps, etc.? Fuck mobile apps. No one gives a fuck about mobile apps. The people that use mobile apps aren't snowboarders. They're fucking nerds. Don't really care about them. But we haven't plateaued. We're actually in a golden age for technology. Like everything's getting refined, and the new materials that keep coming out. Like I think the next big one is going to be recyclamine or something like that, where we can actually break down the product and fully recycle it. And I think that's going to be the big thing that we see is like we're going to see more stuff that we can actually recycle. Um, those will be the next big advancements for us. Okay. Ian the Welshman, angry. How long are the seasons in Utah and Colorado, and when's best to hit them up later on in the season? So March is typically the snowiest month for Colorado and Utah. More Colorado, I think. We've been getting a lot of like later stuff. I would say you want to time it like the week before spring break starts. So like kind of Google search school spring break, which is usually right around Easter or like right before. And you want to time that with it. But I find like the second week in March, second to third week in March is pretty damn solid, and usually it's the best because you get more sun and you're still getting good snow and whatnot. And that's kind of it. But yeah, the seasons. So Colorado, we typically open in October and we close June or July at A Basin. So I mean, if you want the novelty of coming to ride like glacial crust chunder shit, you could do that. Utah with snowbird and whatnot is a little different, but yeah. Okay, Jonah Herb, not worried about money. What are some bindings for carving and pow? Never go in the park. Looking at the Ride El Jefe, but want some more options. The Nitro Phantom Carver, the Nitro Team Carver, the Joan or the now uh Driver X or oh yeah, Driver X? No. O Drive? O Drive X? Yes, O Drive. That's it. It's the now O Drive or the now Drive. Uh the Burton X base or the Genesis X. You could do if you can find a last year set of K2 Formula C's, which is the Formula Carbon, they're fucking super stiff and aggressive. That is a great carving binding. Otherwise, if you're looking at K2, and you want one where like you can be a little more dynamic, the Lean AT, because you can adjust how that is. If you're going with Union, Force MCs, right? Isn't it? No, is it the Forged MCs? Forged MCs, the Atlas or the Felcor. So that should give you plenty of options there. Gene Graves, what board will go with my Mercury for a quiver for hard charging? If you stay with Capita, get a Kazu, but like get the bigger sizes, like maybe size up a little, it'd be a little more, or a black snowboard of death. Those two would be really ripping boards. If you go to Jones, Ultra Flagship, Ultra Mind Expander is fucking phenomenal for carving. You could do the Nidecker Concept as well, which the review just came out like 2 weeks ago. That's really good. You might like the Signal Wow as well. That review, I'll try to get that up soon. Let's see what else is out there. Yeah, I think that's a few. So yeah, there you go. Tyler Barr, inexpensive Colorado mountain town to live in. Granby, Fraser. You can hate your life and do meth. Um, Maybe Pagosa Springs as well. I think there's a town outside Ski Hesperus as well, so you could check that out. Jeremy Stig, what's the best resort in Europe? They're not in Switzerland because fuck Switzerland. I honestly have no idea. I don't know. Go to the Dolomites. Go to Italy. Then you can smoke cigarettes and wear fine leather pants and drive a Lambo. So there you go. All right, I'm going to take 5 more questions and then I'm going to get out of here, guys, because I want to go get some food because I've eaten a banana today and that's it, and a bunch of cough drops. Okay, Joseph Depew. By the way, Ask a Black Snowboarder was pure fucking gold. I agree. Ask a Black Snowboarder, like it lived its lifespan, but it was pure comedic gold because Marcus just did whatever he wanted and I just did whatever I wanted, and somehow when we edited it together, it turned into whatever the fuck it was. If you guys haven't seen Ask a Black Snowboarder, go watch it. It's so politically incorrect. I think almost all those videos are demonetized on some level. So yeah. Let's see. Okay. Harume, you think I-70 from Denver will be good to go by the morning? Wake up early and check cotrip.org. That's all I can say. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Okay, I think we're kind of caught up on there. All right, so we got one from Fletchtown here. Never ridden in the U.S. Colorado looks to be stacked with options. Where's good for pound, less crowds. Telluride, any good? Telluride's steep, but you're limited to like that resort. I mean, you're down in the Southwest. If you're looking for multiple options, I actually tell people go to Aspen. Like everyone's like, oh, it's Aspen, it's fucking bougie, blah 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 blah. I was like, but it's not crowded. Like what they consider crowded is not even an average day in any of the Summit County Eagle County fucking resorts. Steamboat's pretty good too if you go like non-peak holiday times and stuff. So yeah. Oh, okay. Vincent Dew wants a story, a little one. So I'll tell you about today. So today, Copper got 3 feet of snow. So I'm there with my friends John and Connor, and we're waiting in line, and it's going to be like an extra hour and a half before the American Eagle chair is open. So we're sitting there, and like 5 people over in a different corral lineup. Like I have no clue how this guy even got like the way the ropes were. There was no way he was getting over to our side. So this guy with like his wife and his fat friend and his 2 retarded children, and they're whatever, and I'm just ignoring them. And so they finally start loading, and we're skating up, and we're 3 on the outside, and we've picked up 2, so we're 5, and we're trying to get over to go through the Euro gates, which is the scanning mechanism. And this guy starts pushing me from behind, and I'm like, what the fuck? And he's stepping on my board, and he's coming across and just trying to push me. And I'm like, yeah, what are you doing? What are you doing? So I'm pushing back. I'm like, fuck it. You're going to push me. I'll push you right back. I don't give a fuck. So finally, like, I'm getting ready to go into the crowd. He puts his arm out and just tries to stiff arm me. So I'm just like, push him right up against the fucking thing, like face first. And I'm like, if you're going to push me, you're going to get fucking pushed. We're next. I don't even know how I think he had to like cut under a rope. He's like, fuck. And he's trying, like, what he's trying to do is stop and funnel like 6 to 9 people through this gate. He's like, come on, guys. We can take like the next 2 chairs. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Don't be a fucking asshole. So he's sitting there, and I just push him, and I just push right through. And I was like, fuck you. You're a fucking dick. And so he's all butthurt about it. He's like, you're a fucking asshole. I was like, fuck you, fuck your kids, fuck your wife, fuck your fat friend. I don't give a fuck about any of you. Fuck this, fuck that. He's like, oh, you think you're tough? We can have words at the top. I was like, we can step out of the line and you can run your fist or your face at my fist. I don't care. And his friend goes, that is a threat of assault. And I was like, no, that is not a threat of assault. That's telling him he can run his face at my fist. And his wife's laughing. She's like, oh, that's original. I was like, yeah, it's probably more original than you've ever heard, you dumb cunt. And she's just like, and I was like, this. And his fat friend goes, I'm a sheriff. Cool story, bro. Where? And he's just like, you want to step outside? We'll take care of this. And I was like, you got proof you're a sheriff? He's like, it's in my car. And I was like, why don't you go get your fucking badge? I'm going to go make some laps. Well, I can call it in. And I was like, go ahead. What are they going to do? The highway's fucking closed. You're trapped. You have no proof that you're a fucking sheriff. So fuck you. So I'm sitting there, and this guy's just running his mouth. And I was like, dude, I could just beat your ass. I don't really care. I'll beat your kid's ass. I'll beat them all. I don't give a fuck. You touched me. You pushed me. Fuck you. I don't care. So this is hilarious. So we go and we make like 3 or 4 laps, and they opened a chair, and I come mobbing down. I run over like 2 Red Bull athletes that kind of fell in. Oops. They were little. I think they were like 15. They like literally sinkholed, and I just rode over the top of them. Like seriously, it was like whack-a-mole. Like they'd fall and you just like skirt right over the top of them. So I get to the chair, and guess who's right behind me in the fucking line? That asshole. And he's changed his whole tune, and he's trying to be nice, and he sees some stuff, and he's like, sees the sticker on, and he's like, oh, so you ride for Underground? And I was like, I don't ride for Underground. I don't ride for anyone. And he's like trying to do this, and he's trying to be all friendly. And his fat fucking friend, I see him, and I'm like, you're not a fucking cop at all. I know you're not. You're a fucking mall cop. You're probably fucking TSA, bitch. He ain't got no authority over me. So like, go fuck yourself. And yeah, so I'm just like, whatever. Like that was today. I mean, like the level of entitlement from him to just try pushing people and then trying to cut like 9 to 10 people through one corral. Like, dude, we were there. Like I was, so if this was the corral, like right here, like this would be the gate opening like this. I was here. He came in like this and just pushed me. I'm like, fuck that guy. And he got really pissed. I was like, dude, you clearly don't live here. You're fucking pissed off. You probably spent an hour in fucking traffic. The only reason you got this far up in the line is everyone else gave up and walked out of the line. I was like, I was waiting for it. So fuck that guy. I hope he gets fucking rectal cancer and dies. So yeah, there's your story for the day. Hopefully that answers that. All right. Okay, what else we got going on here? Ryan Cast, thoughts on Wolf Creek. So Wolf Creek early season when they get snow is when you want it. It's steep, but they get so much snow when it starts to fill in, it becomes flatter than Breckenridge. So you obviously want to go uh, earlier in the season. That's probably the best time for it to do. So yeah. All right. What else we got here? Kevin Ma, which boards are similar to the LibTech box knife, my current daily driver? I spend 50% of the time. Love riding weird snow, gully side hits and butters, like playful skate like DCPBJ, Interior Plane Project, Honolulu, K2 Bottle Rocket, which this will be the last year of the Bottle Rocket, so probably get a good deal on that. And then the Nidecker Era. So there's 4 boards for you. All right, Snakehorn. I know you've said it before, but what website do you go to for snow reports? OpenSnow.com, as well as the snow app that came with my iPhone. And then I just look out the window. And what I also do is I'll check snow stakes around the county at different resorts and kind of figure out, like, because you can see if who's got more, what way the wind was blowing. Let's see what else. Elvin Son, planning a three-week trip to hit up multiple West Coast resorts next year. Which pass would be best, Epic or Icon? It depends on how you want to do it. So, like, if you go and you hit Colorado, you could do Eldora, Winter Park, Steamboat, Copper, and all the Aspen Mountains. Then you go to Utah, you got Snowbird, Brighton, Solitude. From there, I would say stop for a day in, like, I assume you're driving. If you're driving, stop for a day in Vegas or go to Lee's Canyon in Nevada. It'll be a trip. There's a fucking casino. Go there. Then you can drive across and you can hit Mammoth, June, Snow Summit, Bear, Squaw, Alpine, drive up the coast. Oregon, not really going to have anything there on Icon yet. But then you got Crystal and you got Summit at Snoqualmie. Then you could cut over to Idaho, dip through Idaho, which if you pick up the Indy Pass, it's $200. There's a bunch of resorts in Idaho you could hit. Then you could go to Montana and you could hit Big Sky. And then you could drive down and hit Jackson Hole. Then from Jackson Hole, you could actually you could just do like a full loop and go back to Steamboat and then go back to DIA and fly out. So it's like a full circular loop. So yeah. Yeah. Nathan McAllister, what's your opinion on Ride's topless top sheet being more durable? I don't believe it's more durable. I just don't. Okay. Trevor Sender, any suggestions on a soft flex binding that'll put up with abuse? I've broken 2 base plates in the last month on my Union Flight Pros. K2 Indies. I don't have a set of K2 Indy base plates that don't have under 300 days on them. So yeah. So there we go. I think we're kind of good on questions. I'm going to take off. I need to get some food. Stomach's rumbling. I got to, drink some more water and shit. Thanks for tuning in for the Friday happy hour. I know it was angry late night for you Euro guys. We're going to try to move the hours around on these live streams and figure it out. I know come the summer, I'll have time to do true late nights where it's early at your guys' time or something like that. I'm going to try to really make that work. If you're not a member of Angry Snowboarder VIP, swing on over to angrysnowboarder.vip. Check that out. Really appreciate that. If you haven't subscribe to the channel. We got that. I got a few videos coming out. We got more podcast segments coming out and whatnot. Also, if you are in Colorado, you need to fucking snowboard tomorrow. That's it. So, yeah. Thanks for everything, guys, and I'll see you in another live stream.